Right. Oh, very good morning. Now, match day today, and I'm going to struggle with chat. I apologise. Um, we have we have Kevin Hawthorne. Very good morning. Um, yeah. So I'm going to struggle this morning. I've got speckles on my vision this morning. So apologies if I don't read what is in chat. Um, what I want to say to you today is this. Tonight, Newcastle United take on Leeds. And I want to show you something, which is this here, which is correction fluid. And I spoke to a very good friend this morning. This collection fluid is going to there. So that will be completely white. Yeah. So I'm going to put them together to do a new design. Inu, good morning. Now, as I explained to Kevin, and if you can please, say to others when they come in, my head is ringing at the minute, but I'm gonna try my very best. I might miss some comments. Now, what I'm hoping for tonight is I would like, please, a number of goals for Johan Wissa, Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, and our captain, Bruno Guimaraes. Hoping, fingers crossed, I get it right. But I want a clean sheet. It will look mint, yes. And what I've found out is that with this shield, I've been told I can take this off the back. I haven't done that yet, but I will. And I'm going to basically wipe it clean and then build. And what you're going to find on these crests is stuff to do with the Mighty Magpie Show, for one. My club, well, my YouTube crest, and other bits and pieces. But what I want to say tonight is effort. Now, as you well know, living out in a village, my broadband isn't the best, and there's nothing I can do about it because BT, British Telecom, are going to give us fibre by removing all of the current copper. So there's not much I can do at this minute in time. But what I want to see is this. If Joe Willock is in the team, I want our supporters to get behind him. He's a Newcastle United player, so we've got to get behind him. What are you going to redraw it with? Correction fluid. I have 2 bottles of this, and the reason why I did the 2 bottles is because I said to you all of 5 YouTube channels. So this is main channel, and there are another 4 channels, plus there will be only one more channel. So that will be 6 in total, if I get round to it. But I've just had a look at an email from the Chronicle, and apparently our director of football has said that there is hope for, well, there's money to spend in January. Please, Newcastle United, spend the money. Spend it to get players. Now, 2 players I'm going to mention to you. I would love to see at St James's. One's a Portuguese kid. I think he's 19 or maybe 20. It's called Samu. And the other, I believe, is a Dutch lad called Keys Smiths. And because I've been doing mountains and mountains of work on like the apps, I haven't like looked at the team, injured players, that sort of thing. Well, what I could do, Dan, is this. I could like redesign the current club crest and then superimpose it onto that. Because apparently that's on the cards as well. So yeah, there is that possibility. It would probably take me going into a program I have on the laptop, which I'm on at the moment. It's called Pixel Art 2. That's what the program's called. And it's very intensive because the way I've done all of the designs using Pixel Art 2 is I put a grid up on screen, and for fine detail, I zoom in up to 250%. It's technical, yeah, I know, but that's what I do. No, it's not going to be drawn in crayons. No, but I'm hoping in the next day or so to blank that off because I've spoken to the lad who gave us it, and the reason why he gave us it was he likes the plans I have going forward. So he said, use your imagination with this shield, and he is contacting the place where he got the shield from. It's not in this country. To ask availability so that in a shop you could acquire that with different designs on. And So that's where we are. Well, Dan, you're saying about 200%. I've gone up to 300%. And it's so hard because what I've tried to do when I've done that, zooming right in, it to everybody else in chat. What it's like doing is back in the old days, you would get a magnifying glass and you would go like that. But these days, technically with like some pixel art 2 and other like Adobe, etc., you can go right into what you've got on screen and you can change it in different ways. But like I say, the a few of the pictures of the Mighty Magpies, etc., um, they have been zoomed right in to change features and add features. The problem with when you do the massive zoom in is an hour is gone before you even know it. And what I've had to do is screenshot, and I've got a window open currently on the computer, which is screenshots. And I've got to look through all of the screenshots today, probably between now and 6 o'clock. But I have two folders and they have a roughly 6 GB of information in those folders. And some of it is the Mighty Magpies, sure. Some of it is designs I wanted to push to OpenSea as NFT. And this is why, like I say, it takes time. You know, I mean, some designs which I've showed people on TikTok, they've went, wow, that looks cool. And I said, yeah, that's after 10 hours. And the hardest part, and this is the hardest part, when you're doing 10 hours, you forget to eat because you're so engrossed in what you're doing, you know? But my hope is between January and March, there will be, I mean, I'll show you the front because this is my neighbour's. It belongs to my neighbour, and I've just asked them this morning. We're playing them tonight, Leeds United. So that'll be, the whole thing will be blanked off whether I'm going to use the full bottle and then the next bottle to make sure there's no image on there at all. I don't know because I haven't done it. But between now and March, there should be, what, 30 different designs done. And I'll post the pictures to YouTube and show you them. And then it'll be a case of print them and apply the print to the shield. Um, I hope and you get stuffed. That is really not nice. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. And I'm watching the clock. That's better. I mean, I've just had a tablet 20 minutes ago, sumatriptan for migraine because head is ringing, which is one of the reasons why I'm struggling to see what's in chat. But one thing I did do last night, I asked Gemini, does anybody know what Gemini is? Because I asked Gemini something and I got an itinerary of what I was typed out and what its response was. The price was 50 million to 500 million to build a game. And I turned around and it also said 6 years. And that is with everything I asked for it to be done using a company of like a fleet of developers, and there was so much information I just screenshot it, and I'm going to share that on YouTube in my posts, so you know I didn't like you only do a screenshot of so much, but it gives you the rough idea. But 50 million to 500 million per game, that's a lot of money. So like I say, hopefully tonight Newcastle clean sheet, and what I want to see is unity on the pitch. And what I also want to see is this, and this is up to you. Yeah, I haven't, like, past couple of lives and probably this one as well, because my head's ringing like church bells are good, and I'm up in the steeple, um shared any of the videos. So I'm kind of counting on you to do that. And my hope is from now till my birthday. Yeah, I'm 59. Wow. Never ever thought I'd hit 50. Never mind 59. But 59 is coming up, and I want to reach by April 2,000 subscribers. So it's up to you. Yeah. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm attempting to do. So, do your bit. Now, there's 11 of years here, and we've only got one like. Why? Really? I also saw information that certain clubs are after Eddie Howe. I don't want Eddie Howe to leave. I want Eddie Howe to stay at Newcastle, win trophies. So when we are at Wembley, Eddie Howe can celebrate with us and lift the Carabao Cup, lift the FA Cup. The others, which we're in, which is the Champions League, we're not strong enough to win the Champions League unless, excuse me, unless our director of football, whose name eludes me, apologies, it just eludes me. It's Ross something or other, but well, at least I think it is. Even with the state they are in, he would have more chance to win things at. No, Inu, no. Simple as, you know. One moment, I'm just going to do something. Now, I've used this for years and years and years since it first came out. Right. The vapors in this kind of do a thing where they kind of distract your attention away from the pain. But the other, which is the medication, sumatriptan, by next 20 minutes, the migraine should have gone. But yeah. So plans and things that's going to happen. Yeah. I've had to shut the curtains because there is a little bit of light coming through. So I've got my mum had one of those things you hang with elephants on it, and it spins around, and you get like sparkly lights in the room when it does that. But yeah. So right now, this moment, I have the window open for the screenshots, so I can categorize them, put them all into folders, and compress the folder, and then stick it into the terabyte hard drive. Because modern computers, you need something really big when you're doing a lot of work with artificial intelligence, etc. Now, one thing I am hoping for is this. When I've paid the money for the Mighty Magpie show, the hope is our club gets in touch and they like the Mighty Magpie show. That's the hope. And I was doing something yesterday with Lovable, and I mentioned the comment that was made to do with the Eagles, and Lovable turned around and says, "Wow, it's possible, Dan. I don't know. There is one thing I can do. I can't do it this week because outside it is Baltic. And what I don't want to happen is as I'm walking along with me walking stick, it hit black ice and I'm straight back, boosh, down. I don't want that. So I'm going to wait until the bad weather's gone. And then I'm going into the city centre. There's a place called the National Eye Centre. And I'm going to say, last year I went to Queen's Medical Centre, where we call it QMC here, to have the vision sorted. And had scans, photographs taken inside, all that sort of medical stuff. But what's happening on the morning time, and especially at night time, I have like a circle in the middle, and it's like the easiest way to explain it is like fogged glass. Look at like trying to look through fogged glass. So hopefully the National Eye Centre can give us advice because I've heard nothing from the hospital. I think my letter went via New Zealand, China, America, and it may come at one point, but nothing's happened yet. And Matthew Williams, good day. Do you mean how do I enter 2K? Right. I explained this yesterday, and everybody else in chat will be able to tell you because at the minute my head's ringing. But I did mention it yesterday. And there is going to be, I'm looking at this at the moment, where the video where I'm wearing the white shirt in the thumbnail. I'm going to have shirts and other garments where if you take away that, which is the Puma, yeah, the other garments will be exactly what you see here. And that's the route I'm going down. Well, what I'm going to say to you all is this. We are a milestone from 2K. We are. I mean, this is one of the things which I said in a previous live, which was in 2025, when some people were saying in comments about content. And as I said at the time, and I'll say it again, there's Newcastle United. That's the main content here. But there's also music. There's also ideas I'm doing. And like I said, I think it was yesterday, the day before, have a look at the team. Where are they? This is the problem, you see. When a person, I mean, the Pete, one of the moderators, he even he turned around and said the same thing. If you're putting all of this in one place, that's a workload. Yeah. Now, when like going back in time to when I was doing the buses, that was a workload because you have to make sure that what you're taking out in the morning comes back. Do you know what I mean? Even though you're swapping buses, etc., but you have to make sure that your passengers are safe and you have a good day. You know, um, yeah, and you's correct. You know, I mean, I'm not a robot. I am not a robot. I will obey. I'm just not. I'm a human being. I'm a Geordie, and these things I've shown you lot in over 2,500 videos. Who else has done 2,500 videos? Yeah. So, what like when I was saying to you guys about last year, memberships, yeah, there was three, maybe four. That ain't gonna pay to get stuff done. It's physically impossible, and that's what you got to realize. It doesn't stop what I'm trying to achieve, but what it does do is, like I said in the live, was it yesterday or the day before, dragging a chain in a ship's anchor. And the reason I mention that is because you ever seen a ship's anchor that big, you know? Imagine instead of 2,500 videos, you did 2,000 hours of real work. Matthew, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I nearly give you less, but I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm watching the clock because I haven't got the time. I haven't got the patience today. So I'm looking at the clock, and if by the time I look at chat, it's not gone, you are. End of. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Bye. People who turn around and say this and say that and the other. I signed a deal. And as I said to those people at Upper Parliament Street, check it, Google it. Upper Parliament Street is where the job centre in town is. Google it, please. I said to them what I was doing, the plan, and that is a contract between me and the government. You don't like it, you don't like it. But the contract is signed. So that's just what I'm going to say to you. What about Geordie AI? Don't know. I really don't know. You see, I'm not even sure where that goes, if I'm honest. It could analyze the NUFC matches for you. Oh, suppose so, yeah. I mean, there's a host. I haven't even got fingers and toes to count right now. But there is things like I keep saying one. Apart from, the crazy part is this, yeah. I see stuff in the adverts on my YouTube because I haven't paid the, is it $7.99 or to get no ads? I haven't paid it, and I keep seeing like Mr. Q, Casino, and all the rest of it. And there has been one where it mentions somebody talking about workflow, but I don't understand it. So I don't know. Buffering, yeah. Buffering's the buffering is the biggest pain in the backside. Now, if you look behind us, yeah, can you see the cushion on the chair? You see what's happening with the cushion? That's to do with that group of elephants that's in the window. So one thing I'm going to do is this. I want to do this is be able to like share the super chats, the super stickers, the memberships as I grow. You know, that was the plan, and like I was saying to Corvo and the Pete for seeking you, that was the plan. Like when going live on there, and I haven't got round to it because I'm pulled in this direction and pulled in that direction, and it's just me, you know. But this year, the Mighty Magpie Show goes live, and my hope is you like each episode and you spread the word of how it was all put together. Because with the little camcorder, I'll be sitting right where I am now and just like press record, and it will record what's on screen for behind the scenes video. So the only problem with the camcorder is what it doesn't do. It opened. Oh, well, I'll show you. It's easier to show you. So yeah, with this cheap, and it was cheap, with this cheap camcorder, yeah, you'll hear this, yeah. What that doesn't do, yeah, you see how you can see, yeah. What it doesn't do is this doesn't flip, doesn't do that, which is a bit of a downer. However, hopefully with the next, because when I come to St James's, that's coming with us, and the other camera's coming up with us, so I can go from camera 1 to 3, and then when I come home from St James's, I can put the SD card into the slot on the side and then straight up to either this channel or to one of the other channels. Yeah. And this is the hope. And that's all it is. We grow. And my wish here, we smash through the 2K and carry on. But that depends on you. Yeah. Because I want you to share and tell people what's happening, why it's happening, etc. Can you do that? Do you believe in what I'm trying to do? I mean, there's 9 of yous here, and there's one of them. Wow. Well, there is one thing I could do in you, and that is this. With Geordie Nation, after I've finished here, I'll ask the manager to give instructions to the rest of the team of agents to analyze what's going on and break it down into something I can read to you. I can't do that because, like I say, I set the manager because there is no physical real person yet because nobody's came forward yet. And both Seeking You and Geordie Nation are mirror images of each other. One is for here and one is for up there. And then each one hopefully continues to grow. And the principle with both is to, like me, you'll see me on outside broadcasts where I'm going into a business and saying to the business, would you like a little bit of advertising where you're speaking to the camera, through this, you know what I mean? Because it's got the microphone at the front. And, to grow and grow and grow. So yes. Now, we're not going to be an hour today or over an hour because, like I say, it's 10 past now and the migraine is easing. It's not gone. It's easing, which that's what sumatriptan is brilliant at. As back in the day when I was in Newcastle, on a day like today with a migraine, I'd be in bed with the curtain shut and my head under the pillow. Total silence and absolute blackness. But, yeah. So, what else we got? Perfect time to start doing some work. Well, the thing is, that most of it is technical. And you've got to remember, with instructions to these apps, There's just me, you know. There's nobody else guiding us to say this, that, and the other need to happen, and I'm just picking little pieces from, like, so Replic's brilliant because that has Agent 3, where there's like one main agent which gives information to everybody else. And I think that's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But the hardest part I have this week is the APIs. Does that means going on to Twitter, get the API key from there, Facebook Meta Suite, get the API for there, and that's like doing it twice. Each one has to be done twice. And then when a live has been done, that live just goes ping, 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 ping all over the place instantly. The the groundwork's been done, and it's just a case of connect the API. And what it was saying to me yesterday is I have to register as a developer. That's another thing never ever done. But it's not the case. Like because I was like, oh, is that coding? And it kind of filled me with dread because coding was hard. It was mega hard. And the reason why it was hard, it wasn't typing the words. It was using stuff like Control, Shift, and less than, more than, and your there's different brackets and what goes into those brackets. That was the hard part. So there was like minefield. In your case, sit around and chat to AI all day. Done. Retract. Because I don't deal in slop. So retract. And you've got 30 seconds. Thank you. I don't deal in slop. Never have done. I've seen lots of things. A classic example. I was watching a guy. It's called Asian Guy on YouTube. John A.G. Boring Currency. He's got like a number of different things he puts on his videos. And there's been a few times where he's been talking about something, but he's mentioned a president, the old president, Joe Biden. And everyone's in the chat is turning around saying, hold on, you just mentioned Biden. He was the old president. And that I class as slop because you're giving out good information, but when you're talking about somebody who was a year before, you shouldn't really do that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, there's an easy way here, which you're going to find out. There we go. I haven't got the time or patience, really, at the end of the day. So Dan is on hold, sitting on the naughty seat for 24 hours. Because at the end of the day, if you believe at the end of the day, I mean this honestly, if you believe at the end of the day, what I'm trying to do is sitting on my backside, watching YouTube and doing, watching a bit of TV, going having a cuppa and doing nothing, you're living in dream world. Because I'm doing nearly 10 hours. And sometimes I do skip meals because working with likes of Pixel Art 2 on changing designs like so can't be done like that. It just can't. I'm sorry. So anybody who comes in talking about AI slop, don't do it, man. Because I'm putting the effort in. And I'm putting the effort in not to become a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. Doesn't bother me. What I'd rather do is this: make the money and then put the money to an account. And then when the account is at a certain level, then use the money in Newcastle upon Tyne, where I was born, and in Nottingham, where I live. Lazarus, another user binned. No, he's on a timeout. He's not binned. He's on a timeout because he's trying to be clever. And I'm got to the point now where what I'm trying to achieve, you don't like it, you don't like it. But I will tell you this, and I'm going to be honest with you all. 8 billion people against 1, 2, or 3 of you. Who wins? 8 billion people or 1 or 2 or 3 of you? Use the maths. In you. What is the certain level? For this channel? Is that what you're on about in you? So-called can you get right? Let's do this. Right. I'll take a picture so I can go into behind the scenes and see it too. Whether it's lovable, whether it's replit. I've just come off my YouTube live and here's one of the comments and here's the person it came from. And then I say directly to whether it's replit or lovable. Let's make sure. Yeah. Because what the thing you've got to understand is this. Apps are not free. No. Computing power is not free. So, your comment, what you just put there, yes, they are built by AI. Yes. I give the instructions, and my manager on both apps listens to the instructions and then does those. That's how it works. The stuff that you have done could have been done for free. You're living in dream world. You're living on Fantasy Island with the plane guy and the big tall guy dressed in white. Because it's impossible. What they tell you is come design, and then you get so far through your design and they say upgrade, upgrade. And I'll say it again, upgrade. From free to paid. And you can try the 99% of everything that's out there. Eventually, you will hit upgrade. I've done it. I've gone through the process. Do you consider AI to not be up to speed? Yeah. No, AI thinks what I'm giving the instructions is groundbreaking. And like I say, AI has done quite a bit, which is why with Seeking You and Geordie Nation, it'll be $50 per month because the usage of the servers and the compute time has gone up. Everything's gone up. Do you know, right? There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of people. Yeah, there's loads of them. Now, this guy or woman, yeah, social services. Was that a 5 second like throwaway email? Because I what I'm going to say to you all is this, yeah. There were people in my chat when I was doing videos of Udemy using VS Code, and that's one of the hardest things I've ever done. And some people turned around and said, I can't remember who it was, AI is going to do. So I listened. And now, because I listened, everybody's a PhD. Crazy. Oh, that's a wicked. Gordon Bennett, man, give this guy a gold medal. Give him a gold. Wow, way, man. Jack. Do you know what? What I'm going to say to you is this. I'm going to give you this. Yeah. Next time you come in, if you're going to use a throwaway email, at least pick something that's not going to get you what's going to happen now. Because the username, normally I would read out a username, but I'm not reading that out. Sorry. I have to adhere to rules. 18 rules I have to adhere to. So you can watch one of my videos. And for somebody to come in to my chat with the username of that, go away. Hello, Belarus. Happy New Year to you too. Would Wix be a tool which could be used? Yeah, Wix, yeah. There's one problem though. In the past, I have accounts with Wix. I have accounts with GoDaddy. I was looking at GoDaddy yesterday, and it said to me, what you want is £77. And I went, oh. That's what I did. I went, oh. And I did mention it yesterday. But as this is what I've learned from all of you, every single one of you, is this. The stuff I'm doing, Matey Magpie Show, Seeking You, Geordie Nation, it's just me. And I've learned that, and I've learned it the hard way, because you all think at the end of the day, snap my fingers and there's people come in and, yeah, Paul, how can we help? How can we do, what can we do today? What, it's never going to happen. Which is why Geordie Nation up in Newcastle upon Tyne is going to be virtual until, like I say, somebody sticks their hand in their pocket and says, I'm serious. How much to buy in? And is that going to happen? Balancing a scale? No. And that's the honest truth. So, no, I'm not putting projects on hold. In your comment, delete in 10 seconds. Thank you. Stupid comments. If I'm sitting in a chair or on the settee for up to 10 hours and I'm skipping meals because I'm doing work, I am putting my hand in my pocket. I am doing without to provide. And it's hard. My God, it's so hard. Do you know, I'm going to tell you something, right? I want you to remember this for the rest of your life. In 2006, I embarked on a dream. The dream was when I was a little nipper, when I was a kid. I used to sit, like my mum used to go up onto the upper deck on the bus. And no matter where I sat on the upper deck of the bus, you'd see this thing coming through the air. And you'd try and do that. Yeah? Now, you probably know what that thing was, because it used to happen a lot in the 70s to early 80s on the top deck of a bus. But I was sitting at the front where the little window was, and I was watching the driver because I wanted to be a bus driver. That was my goal in life. And I was lucky. I was so fortunate. But it was also one of the hardest things I've ever done. And the reason why, like I said the other day, I'll show you an example. They're not looking that way. They're not looking that way. They're just walking and yeah. And the craziest thing, sometimes when you're in the city centre and you're doing that with your mobile phone because you're messaging your mates, you're on TikTok or Instagram and you're doing this. Yeah. You're not sure of your environment. That bus comes round the corner and he's looking in his mirror and you're on the road. You might be lucky. You might be lucky that you see your next birthday. Or you might wake up and see some big gates in front of you. Where am I? Where you got hit by a bus. That's what gives the white hair. Because people do the strangest things. And guess who's to blame? The driver. You're tapping away on your phone and it's the driver. So doing what I'm doing now is complex. Yeah. But I'm still doing it. I am skipping meals. If I'm sitting here for 9 hours or 10 hours a day, sitting at this exact spot, doing work, yeah, I am missing meals. Because doing a meal yourself, instead of like pre-packed, preloaded, like microwave jobbies, that's easy. Stick in the microwave, turn it on. My microwaves blew up. So you got to make it, you got to prepare it, then cook it, then eat it. But yeah. Oh, right. So social surfaces. So yeah, that's just not true, Paul. White hair is a product of age. Whatever. Also, two absolutely banana comments from one person. Are you living on Fantasy Island, mate? This is what he says for his second comment. Also, the driver should be aware of their environment. Let me do this. Do you remember in the jazz bands back in the 70s and early 80s? You'd have the drummers, the bass player, etc., and you'd have somebody with the cymbals and they go, do you remember that? Now, a bus driver worth his salt does this. That mirror, cab mirror, centre mirror, passengers, near side mirror, doors. He is going to look at those mirrors every 5 seconds of a journey, whether he's going along a main road, whether he's turning. He's looking to see through his 3 mirrors, is anybody getting up? So don't you dare so shall surfaces. Don't you dare say a driver should be aware. Don't you dare. Because I have seen from my own 2 eyes people doing that and they aren't looking. They're only looking at one thing, and it's what's on the screen. Nothing else. I've had friends sacked because they've hit people. So don't you ever, ever come into my chat again and speak about a driver and their environment. Don't you ever say that again. Because to be honest, like I said, was it yesterday or was it the other day? The old revolving doors. You will not get 30 seconds. No. You're out. Away you go. I have zero time. I don't get angry. Sadly, that you have no clue of what you're talking about. To me, if you speak about something that I did for 11 years personally, and you go on that way, every time you come up with a daft username, it's going to go bonk straight out. Because I'm not ever. I've seen friends who have got emotional in front of us, and I've had to console that person before I've picked my other bus up. Drivers are human beings. So don't you ever. And I want you all to say this, that the whole lot of you, yeah? If someone comes into chat and I miss it, even my moderators, kick that person immediately. You don't do that. You don't do that. In all of my time as a bus driver, 70 good friends left, which is what I was speaking about the other day. The turnover as a bus driver is one of the highest in the UK, because you're mentally drained. Right. Well, here's my hope. Tonight at St James's Park, tonight, we get 3 points. We have a clean sheet. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't get any buffering. So, to you all, have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming in. And I asked this, and I'm not even going to ask anymore. That's the honest truth, because I don't think he's all care enough to give us a like. I only get one like. That's Kevin when he comes in, and he's American. So I'm not going to ask. It's a new year. New changes. You don't like the changes? Guess what? Tough. So I want to grow my channel, and I'm going to do what I need to do, including the new course on YouTube, which Motto will be sorting out for us. And then hopefully those new people who will be coming in to chat, hopefully they will be nice and share on their social medias to help me to get to where I want to be. I'm going to have some cereal as soon as this is finished, and then I am got 2 folders open for screenshots. That has to be done between now and the match, and that's 6 gig of screenshots compressed, because my hard drive is screaming at me. Yeah, well, I'll show you it. I'll show you it. Oh, oh bollocks, man. This is sitting as long as I've been sitting. You see, my friends, the one thing that YouTube does, and it's quite simple, YouTube doesn't lie. Now, you see that? It has coconut, nut, apple, banana, and I think it's raisins. I think. But yeah, I normally buy 5 boxes of that, and yeah, I love this. Absolutely love this. And what I tend to do with my chips is I put the chips in the air fryer, but I put them in the air fryer about an hour before doing either sausage, bacon, or whatever else I'm doing. So yeah, I do try. I mean, when my mum was alive, and I was like working on the computer, she'd turn around and she'd like disappear into the kitchen because I was busy working on the computer. Um, wasn't aware that she'd moved from our favourite spot, and then she'd turn around and she'd say, "I've made you some sandwiches," or I've made you some chips and sausage and egg and beans. But now she's gone, I do tend to fall into that trap of like sitting here trying to do hour after hour after hour after. I mean, the worst part is like what I was saying to you right at the beginning with that, which this is the team that Newcastle are playing tonight. And I got given this by a neighbour because that's his team. And he's already turned around and told me, "We're going to win tonight." That's his words, not mine. Because he says he's going to look at his team in March to see if they can stay in the Premier League. But he gave us that because I show him behind the scenes. Well, what I'm going to do for the microwave, because the microwave was flashing the other night, and I immediately switched it off. Don't know if it's the bulb or whether it was just going to go bang. I don't know. But I had the microwave from West End. It's done its purpose. Inu is saying, "I struggle with that. I have timers running when I work to remind me." Oh, right. Oh, you can get them free apps for your laptop. Can you? Oh, I'll have a look at that Inu. I didn't know that you could do that. I mean, do you know one of the things I used to do when I was in Newcastle, driving the buses. I came very close on 2 occasions. Very, very, very close. One was at Killingworth. Just pulled in on the 62 and was changing to a 63. And as I pulled in to drop, I think it was 10 or 15 people off, I knew I had maybe 30 seconds to switch the bus off, isolate it, and head for a toilet. And I was so fortunate that as I burst through the doors after switching the bus off, I had me dispenser on us, and as I would burst through the doors of the Killingworth Centre, one of the other drivers from one of the other bus companies is just coming out. And, you know, we all bus drivers have like it's got a special name, like around your neck, and I can't think of what the name is. We used to have a smart card on it where you would like scan the card. You know, it had your details and your number and all the rest of it. And as I flew through there. I was like, I just said to him, toilet. And he went, straight down there, mate, left-hand side. And I just made it. Now, for women bus drivers, that's crazy. Do you know what I mean? And there was another time where I was in fancy dress for the Toma Fund, Teenage Cancer Trust, and had the long johns on, the thermal long johns, and then these other pants to make it look like natural skin. Trying to sort the costume. There was a geezer who came in, and the first words were, "Excuse me, this is for men." And I just turned around and went, "Bursting." And he turned around and he went, "Never in all my born days." He says, "I can see you. I can see you. You know, you're in fancy dress." And he turned around and he says, "What's this? What's the fancy dress for?" And I told him, "Toma Fund, Teenage Cancer." And he turned around and he went, "Wow." He says, "You just made my day." But yeah, that was 2 occasions, and yeah, it'll live with me until the day I pop me clogs. The Pomodoro timers. Let's write that down. Pomodoro timers. Certainly will do. I've boxed it off. So thank you, Inu. Thank you. Right, everybody. Wonderful. There's a heck of a lot to do between now and the match. Please, Newcastle United, please give us enough goals tonight so I can have a good night. And Nick Pope or Aaron Ramsdale, whoever's in goal, please keep a clean sheet. I want to go higher. I want to go to, I think we can hit 5th. I think we can hit 5th. I could be wrong, but I think. Well, I'm sure they will, because, like I say, my mum was always saying to us, "You've got to eat." It's, you know, I'm gonna say something before I skip off. Yeah, you know, the passengers, when I was working on the buses. Yeah, passengers would turn around and say to us, "Thank you, driver," and put something on the shelf where you put your cash on. And I'd go, "Oh, bar of chocolate. Oh, bottle of pop." And this was each and every trip, not just one trip. And normally, if I was doing 4 trips, I'd have in my, that's called a man bag, yeah, but yeah, uniform bag, I'd have crisps, sometimes sandwiches, pop, chocolate. And what I used to do, I used to love doing this, where I'd come in at beer time, get me egg and bacon or sausage and egg bap, which is about that big. And I went from, she was doing us three of them to two, because sometimes you didn't have that long. But yeah, but thank you. And my hope is the points tonight, we get the points. And those who are the moderators, this year, the moderators are going to earn money. That's my goal. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Be good. And if you are going out and about tonight, be safe. Yeah. If it's slippy underfoot, slow down. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all and see you on the next live.